One of the most powerful tools that I have given to thousands of people in my world is something I call a lead product. And today I want to tell you exactly what it is, give a refresh for those of you who have been around a long time, and enlighten the people who have just met me. This is going to change your life. When I was first running my agency the old way, the default way, Steve and I did what everybody around us did. We would look for leads, and then when we got them, I would ask them what they needed, and then I would write them a proposal. Now, over the first few years, those proposals turned into some pretty incredible documents, actually. We would make these full-on decks. Sometimes we would even brand the decks to the client because we thought if we just show them this amazing 30-page deck that not only is specifically written for them and all of their needs, but also has example after example of our work and talks about our company in a really positive light and outlines the timelines for the projects and just bells and whistles, then of course that is what is going to win over the clients. And what I found is that the more work I put into these proposals, possibly even the fewer clients I actually closed. It was an incredibly frustrating process because it took a lot of time, a lot of thought, and it meant that I spent a lot of free time thinking about these prospects and trying to woo them and giving them my best stuff. And so many of them would either not close or just disappear. This turned out to be part of a larger problem that has to do with running agencies in an unprofitable way. But I can tell you for sure, the numbers don't add up. If you spend a lot of time pitching for work that you don't win, and you are a small agency like I was, 1 to 2 people, you really don't have time to waste pitching each individual person unless you are sure that is going to turn into work. So a few years into our business, this all came crashing down. We ended up in debt and we had to make a change. And one of the changes that we ended up making was implementing the lead product process. Now, let me tell you how this started. About a year or two before, I started writing strategy briefs as part of the process of helping figure out what the client needed so that I could basically just get the design approved. I found every time I did a project, the more I understood what the client needed and the more I explained it back to them and got their buy-in, the easier it was to get the logos approved. And that was all I wanted. I just wanted them to like the work and not have a million edits. Over the years, that process evolved into something that one day I actually sold to someone. I said, hey, you can pay me and I can just tell you the high level strategy of what you need to do. And that was the first brand shrink that I ever did. Fast forward to this month in 2014 where we were in debt and we had to reevaluate everything in our business. I started looking at that as the first step in our process and I was going to use it instead of a proposal. Now that I've gotten to this point, let me explain what a lead product is. A lead product replaces a proposal. A lead product is a flat rate productized service that is delivered to a client before a bigger project is even proposed. It is not a paid proposal, although I do use that in my marketing because it's a quick way to explain what it is. There is a proposal aspect to it, but it's not just getting paid for a proposal. To me, the definition of a proposal is writing out all the things that a client tells you that they need and want, and then you regurgitate it back in this proposal and then you price it out. You say, this is what it's going to cost for me to do that. That's a proposal. A lead product is different, first of all, because it's paid. Second of all, because you are not taking what the client says they need and want and then just putting a price on it. You are actually interviewing the client to understand what they really need and want and what the outcome is that they want. And then you are telling them, you are here, you want to go there, and this is how you're going to get there. So it's essentially a plan. It's essentially a strategic brief. It is a strategic brief. I don't like to use that word because clients get skittish around the word strategy, but I can use that with you because you understand what a strategy is. It's a strategy, but it's a strategy also, the way that I've developed this process is to teach how to deliver a strategy in a way that clients actually understand it. Because I think people in our industry, when they hear strategy, they imagine a document, and I've seen these documents by people who are trying to do lead products and don't know the proper process that's actually going to work. They end up being these long decks that look a lot like our proposal proposals, and they have things that are in very agency jargon words. They have things like, let me explain your avatars. Let me talk about your vision statement, mission statement, all these things that I'm not knocking those things. They have a place. But this is the kind of framing for a strategy that is the reason clients don't want it, because they don't know what to do with that, especially small business clients. So when you apply this big agency strategic document to helping a small business, they're going to feel the way most small business clients feel when you tell them you want to sell them strategy. They go, can we just bypass that? I really just need a website. I really just need a logo. I'm sure you've heard that before. Do we have to do all of this? I just need X. Why do they feel that way? I have a hunch they feel that way because they are used to strategic briefs actually being full of jargony stuff that they can't use. Okay, so a lead product brief is something different. A lead product brief is going to meet a client where they're at and give them a plan on how to go from where they are to where they want to go. A lead product brief is valuable all on its own. The reason we charge for it is because the outcome does have value on its own. And the way I like to define a lead product is that a client must be able to take that and not hire you and still have gotten value. And that's something that I wouldn't say is also a part of a proposal. The lead product brief, when you deliver actual value, will also have more value because the client paid for it. There is a deep connection between how clients feel about work when they do or don't pay for it. So if you were to do a strategic brief, if you were to give someone a strategy and they don't pay for it, they're going to value it a lot less. So you need to charge for it for many reasons. Another reason we charge for it is so that we make sure that you get paid for it. Now, this takes a lot of the selling out of this whole process. When you get paid for a lead product, you end up being able to show up just to give value for the clients. You get to sit there and actually listen and understand what they're saying and give them real information that's going to help them. And that takes this proposal to a completely different level. This is not, you said you need a website with 5 pages, I'm gonna give you a website with 5 pages, and this is how much it's gonna cost. This is, you said you need a website with 5 pages, but why? What is the website trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish with this? What are your expectations? What kind of marketing are you actually going to do with this? Does that even make sense? Do I think, as the expert, that you're going to get the outcome that you're looking for? And if I don't, I'm going to recommend what you should do to get that outcome. It's a much more rich experience. And the benefit of doing this process is that instead of showing up like everyone else, every one of your competitors with the same proposal and taking them through this, we're going to do discovery process, we're going to show you a mood board, we're going to show you logos, like whatever everybody says. Instead of doing that, you cut the line. You get right to the point and you tell them, hey, I can help you solve at least a piece of that problem. This is the price. This is how it's going to work. And at the end of it, you'll have more value than you have now. You'll have answers. And then you can decide if you want to work with me or not. So that already starts the relationship off on the right foot because it positions you as an expert from the beginning. You're also subconsciously telling them, my time is valuable. I don't just give this information away for free. So that's also positive for the relationship with a client, because if you don't give your information away for free, they're going to value it more. They're going to respect you more as an expert, which is what we want if we want to have successful projects with clients. And then the actual lead product process. So I'm going to just give you a very high level view of it. I teach this in detail inside the No BS Agency Mastery program. And it's not just about knowing how to do it, it's about refining your execution, because the execution is really everything when it comes to delivering this so that the clients just love you. They see you as the only expert that can help them, and they will happily upsell to much higher priced services because of it. The lead product process is first an interview to understand everything about the client's situation. You want to listen and not speak. Your job is not to tell them anything, it's just to understand them. And what I find over and over again is that if you do this well, clients will feel so heard and so understood that you have to say almost nothing, and they will experience you as the expert that you want to be seen as. Because better than teaching someone how to do something is to ask them thoughtful questions. Thoughtful questions are a much easier way to demonstrate expertise. That's what the lead product interview process does. I've had so many students that I've taught this process to tell me that at the end of it, clients have cried. Clients have said to them, I feel so understood. I have so much clarity. Just amazing results just from the interview. But the interview is only half of it. Once the interview is done, you then go back and write the brief. Now, I have a very specific way that I recommend writing this brief, and it is not execution. There is no copy. There are no mood boards. There is no work to be done. It is only the plan, and that's very important. A well-done lead product is going to give insights into the client's business and brand and what they should do in a way that will make them see the connection between what you're proposing and how it's going to get them what they ultimately want. And if you do this right, you will have created such a level of trust and such an unbreakable bond between you two that the clients will not only be pretty price agnostic, but even if they can't afford you, they will likely find the money. I have had so many students tell me that at the end of the lead product process, clients said to them, I want to hire you, but I don't have the money. And then come back a couple weeks later and say, I found it, let's do it. That is the power of a lead product process. I've had a couple of students tell me that they did a lead product with somebody who told them from the beginning, I don't have the money to hire you. And then afterwards ended up hiring them for the largest project yet. One of those students charged $8,000 for that project and she got paid in full. The other person got a $12,000 project. Both of those were the largest projects that they had sold to date. These were with clients that told them initially, I don't have the budget to hire you. So that is probably the most magical thing about the lead product. It shows you that when people tell you I don't have a budget, what they mean is I don't have a budget for you because I don't see the value in this enough to have a budget. They're not lying. They just genuinely don't think they have a budget. And when you show somebody the amount of value that you can provide to them and how it's going to help them get the outcome that they want, all of a sudden, money becomes something completely different. They will find the money to hire you. And this is just one of the ways that I help students find those higher paying premium clients, because it's a very good chance that you are already talking to them, but the way that you are pitching them for work, framing your offers, framing your process for selling them even with these proposals that everybody sends is actually doing your business a disservice. You're making it harder for them to buy from you. The lead product process makes it so easy for your clients to buy from you. I love one of the things that a lot of my students say is, I can't believe how easy it was to quote sell it because it didn't feel like selling. It was like a no-brainer. I had this awesome offer for them and they were excited to do it. I have a lot of students get payment on the call, on that first initial fit call, because the lead product makes that happen. Most people on that fit call will say, okay, great, let me go back and think about this and let me write a proposal. And you are just letting those clients slip out the door and you don't even know it. So that is the long and short of the lead product process. I have implemented this. I'm talking to you as a 1 to 2 person branding agency, and I love helping our industry learn this process and really nail it because I know it so well because I've done it so many times. But I have also implemented this process in all kinds of businesses over the years: financial services firms, lawyers, all kinds of coaches and consultants in all different areas. It is such a beautiful process because it allows you to own the leadership and the confidence and the expertise that you have. And that is the key to a successful project, not just from a profitability standpoint, not just because the project will go better, but also because the clients will have a better experience and they will actually get more value from working with you because of that experience. That's just a high level view of the lead product. That's all I've got for you today. I will talk to you next week.